If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Hello, book lovers. Welcome to Must Love Books. Welcome back to Must Love Books podcast. I am here with Stephanie, also known as Daddy Zeus from the Something Smutty Book Club. And today on the podcast, we are doing Not Just Books.
This is our very first Not Just Books project. Stranger Things reactions, theories, and predictions. I am not a seasoned Stranger Things fan. I finished the seasons 2 weeks ago, but I'm fully in the trenches. I'm fully in here. So I'm ready to hear Krystle's theories because I need somebody who is willing to talk to me about them. We will cover the first 4 seasons before the release of the 5th and final season. Then we will cover season 5, part 1, volume 1, and then volume 2, and then the finale, which we are seeing in theaters on New Year's Eve.
Which I'm super pumped for. I even took off work.
I'm willing to spend money. Like, it's fine. People are like, oh, you're going to spend money to go see something that you already pay for on Netflix? Yeah, I am actually.
Absolutely.
In fact, I'm going to happily do so. Take my money. I want the experience. And if you see me crying, don't say anything because you're going to ruin my reputation. You're going to just ruin it. So
we'll hide some tissues in your pockets. No one will know. So for this episode, we are going to dive into season 1 of Stranger Things, from initial thoughts and ships, character development, plot reactions, and predictions. There will, of course, be some spoilers. So if you haven't watched yet, this is your warning to come back later.
The Stranger Things React podcast series will be a Patreon exclusive with just some teasers shared on the main podcast here. This first episode will be the only episode shared on the main podcast. To continue listening to this series, check us out on the Patreon app or at www.patreon.com/mustlovebooks and join the $5 a month book lovers tier. For less than a coffee a month, you can enjoy some mediocre opinions.
All right, there's our tagline. Cut the check, I got it. Also, fun fact about me, I can never remember the difference between a / and a backslash.
That's really funny.
Yep.
Say with a straight face, wow, that's so funny. It's okay. It's okay. You know what? It's a quirk of yours.
It is a quirk.
It's a quirk. It's a quirk.
Yeah.
It's okay. We all have things we need to work on. Yours is understanding forwards versus backward slashes. Mine is everything else. So
yeah, I guess it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a terrible
trade-off.
Okay, so without further ado, Stranger Things season 1. I'm going to start with my initial thoughts that I wrote down before even going into the show. So this is just what I knew of outside of, just hearing things, but I had never watched anything. This week was my first time watching even a single episode. So I was under the impression that this was a science fiction story and that 11 was an alien. I don't know what gave me this impression, but that's what I thought this show was about. And all I knew outside of that was the TikTok memes, the Chrissy wake up and the running up that hill song. That was it. So I didn't know much about the story or the setting. I just knew it's in the 80s and there's kids playing D&D and Millie Bobby Brown had freaky powers and no names. So I thought she was an
Not
alien.
11.
Yeah.
Not 11. Millie
Yeah.
Bobby Brown
Yeah.
herself.
Millie Bobby Brown herself had no name.
Herself.
Hmm. Yeah, so obviously I was very clearly wrong about my initial
I mean,
impressions.
apart from the alien like part, you aren't super super far off. I mean, they do play D&D. A lot of the overtones of the show entirely focus on D&D. And if you've never played it, you will miss out on a lot of like the themes, the running themes.
Yeah,
So you're
definitely.
not super wrong. And it definitely takes place in the 80s,
Yeah, so
which
I mean,
I was not alive for. So
neither was I. So was it
what
an
were you born?
accurate depiction of the 80s? I don't know.
I'm going to say it is.
I'm gonna say it is. I was born in
I'm going to say
91,
it. I don't
so
know. Oh,
no 80s for me.
that's valid.
Um, so I will say that like going into season 1, right off the bat, what I realized is that the show, I mean, yeah, there are science fiction elements, but really it's a horror. At least the first season is. It follows the horror story format.
It's yeah, it's very like eldritch horror, like
Yes.
Lovecraftian horror, which is a super super popular theme in Dungeons and Dragons. So,
Which
yeah,
I
I
guess I
guess
should
that
have
it does
figured.
make sense.
Yeah, I guess I should have figured from the D&D
Yeah.
aspect that it was going to be more of an eldritch horror. There are
Hmm.
still the science fiction elements, but the pacing of the story and the jump scares and the mythos behind everything happening are all rooted in horror. So in a lot of like horror stories, we do have themes of morality, especially in like slashers kind of horror. It was always the the sins you commit are what leads to your death. And we kind of see like some little plays of that in regards to how science is treated because this is very much is you have the scientists, the evil laboratory guys, and they're taking science too far. And then you have all the kids who are like super curious about science, and theirs is more of like an innocent curiosity. Whereas the scientists very much push this idea of we asked if we could, but never if we should, which I think is from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
become a trope in itself in both sci-fi and sci-fi horror. Because just because you can do something doesn't mean it's right or safe or ethical to do.
Yeah, ethical. Um, and you will see that as not like a big spoiler, but you will see that like throughout the entire series.
Yeah,
Is
recurring
that
theme.
if you should not have done it, maybe you should not have done 99% of this stuff, but
And here's what happens because you did.
yeah, consequences or actions meet consequences.
So while I was watching, a lot of things about the first season kind of reminded me of It Part One with the kids running around Derry and their whole thing there. Did you watch that one? No, of course not. And I later
I don't
learned,
watch horror. Like I don't generally watch horror.
okay,
So
well, it's got a lot of the same vibes. There's the friendships and the community that these kids kind of build with each other, not to mention the whole running around unsupervised thing to get into the shenanigans. I
it's
later
also
learned
like
that it was supposed
Goonies
to be, yeah,
vibes.
that's what I was just gonna
Yeah,
say. Yeah, I later learned that it was actually inspired by Goonies in that
Goonies
aspect. I'm like,
vibes.
well, you know what? Goonies and the part one of it are kind of, they've got that same
Which
vibe.
Sean Astin is also in.
Yep.
So I'm sure he had a great time coming in season two,
Yeah, I did
which
not know
you
that he
already
was in
know
the
about.
show. Yeah, now I do,
I did
but
not either until I saw him. I'm like, what is Samwise Gamgee doing here? Literally, my exact thought as soon as I saw this man, I was like, also coming in hot with the makeout scenes. I was like, I don't like to see old people kiss. I don't know what it is about me.
that's really funny.
I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. It's like seeing your parents kiss. I'm like,
Yeah,
keep it
I
to
can see
yourself.
that.
Keep it behind closed doors.
But that was in season two. We're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
I did really like now we can go into the D&D aspect because there is a lot of like little throwbacks to D&D lore and the rules even. And I love how these boys apply those rules to their real life friendships. Like when Mike and Lucas got into their big fight, and in order to fix their friendship, Mike needed to shake Lucas's hand first in order to make nice, because those are their D&D party rules. And then they also follow the never split the party rule, which is a huge thing in Dungeons and Dragons, but it's also a rule that horror movie victims should be following in order to survive, because everyone dies when they all split up.
Yeah, and the one time they do, we'll get snatched up.
Exactly. So the one time they do split
Introducing.
up, it's
Yeah. Will Byers, my favorite character in the
oh, he's
series.
such a
So
precious little
he
baby.
he was so cute as a little kid. I was like, oh my God, those eyes. Like, it reminds me, who does he remind you of?
I don't know.
But like, I'm like, oh my God, he's so cute. And I love his bowl cut. I don't like season 4 bowl cut. But like when he was little, it was cute. I thought it was adorable. But yeah, Will Byers, my favorite character. In season 1, have you established your favorite character yet?
So, okay, my season 1 characters, I have to say, the character I hated in the first episode ended up being a character I liked better later on, and that would be Steve. I think Steve has, just going by season 1, Steve has the best character development of the whole first season. He really grows,
Mhm.
and like you can tell that he actually learns his lesson
Mhm.
and actively makes amends and actively, seeks to
Steps
apologize.
outside
Yeah.
the conformity of society to, which I
And
also think is a pretty running, like a consistent running theme of the show.
and especially since the show takes place in the 80s, I think for him to make those decisions as a teen boy in the 80s is like astronomically huge.
Yeah.
Because things were very much focused on like clicks and, cliche,
I mean, they still are.
I
Like
mean
they
they
still
still
are even
are for
today,
sure.
but
But like even today like we have more like dialogue about like
mhm.
being your own person and,
Yeah, you didn't step out of the norm
masculinity.
back in
Yeah.
the 80s.
Yeah,
Like
back
I
in the
was there.
80s,
You
if
didn't do that then.
right, right, like we were there. But like in
Yeah.
a lot of media regarding the 80s, if your masculinity wasn't toxic, you were a girl. Like
Well, just like from the startup, like the rumors about Will, just because he was what, tiny and not super like
yep.
mature, not too super masculine.
Yeah. So for Steve to really step outside that, I thought showed immense growth. So even though I hated him in the first couple episodes, by that final episode, I was rooting for him.
I feel like you could tell though, just from like as soon as he gets brought in, that he's gonna have a character arc like that. Which I
See,
mean, I like when it's
I do
consistent though. Like
agree.
I like to guess sometimes,
I
but you're
kind
just
of
like,
thought it was
you
gonna like
know,
take seasons for him to get there. I was gonna be like, this dude's gonna suck for like 3 years straight, and then he'll
I know.
finally be
Which
liked.
which also kind of sucks that you haven't watched it yet because my opinions would give things away. So I'm gonna keep them to myself.
That's valid. I also just have to say that Millie Bobby Brown makes some really great faces.
You know what? Like she got so much hate as a little kid, and I'm just like, why?
And
She was
yeah,
like 10
I
years
don't get
old,
why. She was, I think,
and
I
I
think
think
when
her
it came out,
character
she
is
was
good.
13.
Yeah, like I think her character is good. She's one of the youngest. I think Sadie Sink, who doesn't come in until season 2, is the oldest of them.
Yeah.
And then Finn, who's Mike, and then I think Millie and Lucas and Dustin are all like the same kind of age, and then Will is the youngest. He's 2 years younger than them, which is like they're so tiny. They're such
They are.
babies.
I
Like,
started the first episode. I'm like, I've seen, clips and pictures and stuff. So like I know what they look like
mhm.
now. And I'm like, who are these babies?
They were so tiny.
So tiny.
But and that's why I think it's funny to like I when it first came out in 2016, I watched the first few episodes, and I feel like at that point I was neck deep in like other fandoms and just didn't care enough to get into it. And then 10 years later, almost, here I am,
Which
right
is
when it's about to
wild.
end in the
Yeah,
trenches.
it's wild that it's
I've seen
almost
every
10 years
series
early.
video. I've seen literally, you could not say something to me that I have not already written down and put in my little Stranger Things bingo for when we watch the season 5 premiere. So
I cannot wait until we get there.
I genuinely cannot wait. I can't imagine having to have waited like 2 years like everybody else.
Right? Like, I'm glad I
So
waited to watch it
I'm
because
here
that would
like,
have
oh my God,
sucked.
it's gonna take so long. And they're like, dog.
They're like, Stephanie, it's been 9 years.
That's why I couldn't call myself a veteran because I knew somebody would come for me over it. They'd be like, speaking specifically, Kaylee would be like, I've been watching this since 2016.
She would have been so mad.
She would have been like, don't even lie. And listen, I like to lie for fun sometimes, but not about easily proven wrong things, you know?
Yeah. I also will say that the slow reveal of Hopper's backstory with his child and the parallels between losing his child and trying to save Will was just like expertly executed. And when he's trying to
Hmm.
do CPR on Will to bring him back, and he's having flashbacks to his child dying, and the doctor's trying to do CPR on him, I'm like in tears. Like, that was so well done.
I think that's also like you have kids
Yeah.
where I don't have kids. So I don't have that level of like, wow. I mean, it's sad in itself. It's like really, it's traumatic, obviously, but I'm thinking like, this is sad. And you're like, oh my God, I'm thinking of my kids. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't have that level of understanding. But I
And
did like the comparison. I did like that they kind of showed his grief a little differently than just, oh yeah, my kid passed away, of like the denial of even admitting that your child is gone in the
yeah,
beginning of the
when he's
series.
talking to the teacher, and the teacher's like, oh, maybe I'll
Yeah,
have her in
she,
my class. And he's
yeah.
like, she
Oh no,
lives
she lives with her
upstate.
mom.
Yeah, no.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, she's been dead for 7 years.
Yeah, and had cancer and yeah.
Yeah, I do really like how the first season portrays grief and trauma and how different characters experience these things differently, which makes it
Yeah.
all like more kind of realistic
Hmm.
to me because everyone processes differently.
And I like that there are so many different subtypes of people. Like you have the Wheelers who are the nuclear family, as Nancy talks about in the show, and how she does not want to be like that. She does, because you have like this very like this younger outgoing mother and a father who is not, super emotional, is very like uninterested in his kids,
And
which
who
makes your
definitely
kids.
voted for Reagan.
Yeah, he had a sign. He has a
Yep.
sign.
Even before we saw the sign,
He
like
has a Bush sign.
his first scene where he's just like being an
He's
asshole at the dinner
he is
table, I'm like, he
giving
voted for
conservative
Reagan.
father. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's definitely giving conservative father. Which again, it's the 80s, so who's surprised? I liked that, and I liked how the contrast between the Byers and the Wheelers is often outlined. I love Joyce.
Yeah, she's
I love her
great.
character. She's neurotic, and I relate because I think I also would be neurotic like
She
that.
has every right to be. She is just
I
doing the
mean, there's
best she
like
can.
two characters the entire time that were absolutely like, I'm not going to accept that this kid is dead ever. And it's
Yeah.
Joyce
I loved when
and Mike.
she went to the store she works at and bought like 50,000 things of lights.
I need
And
an
she's just
advance,
pulling them out of the
like a
cart,
lot.
like so many. I'm like, that's real. Like, did you really need that many lights?
I don't think she did, but
I
you
don't
know
think
what?
she did.
It's comedic.
I
It's
don't think there
comedic.
was anywhere near that many lights even up in the house. There
There
was
were
like
not, I
five.
imagine. Well, it's also like she had them up everywhere before she started putting them over like the words. So it's maybe the progression of that, of like
Yeah.
the understanding, which I think is interesting. And I want to talk about the lights further on in the series. I want to come back to those because I find them very, very interesting once you learn more about the upside down. So,
Yeah. I love how she used the lights basically as a Ouija board.
Yeah, yeah. Literally almost exactly like a
I
Ouija board.
never would have thought of that. I feel like that was genius. Joyce is
Hmm.
smarter than I am.
We'll come back in season 4 to talk about, I can't remember, I think it's season 4. Yeah, season 4, we're going to come back and talk about those because I feel like there's a theory connected to them further along down the line. So I watched, like, it's embarrassing to say how quickly I watched all 4 seasons.
I could
I had it on while I
honestly,
was working
yeah, that's what I've just been having them on while I was working.
in the background, obviously, still
Yeah,
doing
obviously
work.
in the background, like it's on the TV over there and
Yeah.
I'm over here, typing away and doing my thing. And
Hmm.
then like after the kids go to bed, I watch another like 1 or 2 episodes. So like,
I was staying up pretty late. I made Kaylee watch it with me a couple times. When we went to the concert, she she wakes up in the morning in the hotel and I'm on my iPad watching it and I look over or I just finished it and I look over at her and I'm like, I was crying. She was like, Stephanie, I just woke up. I'm just like, no, you don't understand. I've been up since 7. It's like 11:30, or it was a little earlier than that. And I'm like, I've been watching it. Because the last episode of season 4 is pretty long. It's like an hour and 40 minutes.
yeah, it's like a whole
Maybe it's a little
movie.
longer than that. It's pretty long. And I'm just crying silently in the hotel by myself because Allie had already left.
Just crying to your Stranger Things.
Literally just staring at my iPad, just tears pouring.
That's a feeling I can
But
relate to. You guys make fun of me when I cry watching movies.
listen, I don't cry a lot. I don't cry a lot, but if you have an emotional scene and like a good soundtrack in the background, it
Hmm.
has to have music. If it doesn't have music, I don't find the scene sad for some reason. I'm not joking. You could have a character dying, and if it's silent, I'm like, wow,
Okay.
that sucks. Like, wow, that sucks. And you put music in the background, like an orchestra, sobbing. That's how they get you into
That is
cults.
how they get you. Into Kohl's?
They get you into cults,
Oh,
cults,
into
cults.
Kohl's. I thought you said Kohl's, like the
Cults, cults,
department
cults,
store.
cults. Coles. That's how
Colts
they
makes
get you into
sense.
Coles. Me crying as a child in the Coles dressing room, putting on clothes. That was true. That was genuine. That happened to me.
That's
Don't mind
hilarious.
me drinking boba. Also, I would like to point out this is not a MAGA shirt. It's a Stranger Things shirt. I would just like to put emphasis on that I'm not a Republican in any feasible manner,
It is known.
just in case anyone was wondering.
Document it.
I would like people to know that I am not.
It's an important
Um,
thing to know,
I, Wearing red in 2025 is, I feel like, a little ambiguous. So I need to put emphasis there.
which is a
Are you going to
bummer
move on?
because my favorite color is red.
I
So,
feel like I look okay. I mean, I'm blonde, so I don't look horrible in red.
yeah.
But I feel like I can't wear it. Are we moving on to shipping?
Yes, let's move on to shipping. After watching the first season and before seeing anything of season 2, I was like, Hopper and Joyce, let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it's pretty, but that's not the one that you're that. I don't think even in season 4 or anything, like that's not the one people are really like, they're not battling about Hopper and Joyce. You know what I mean?
Are they battling over Nancy and her 2 potential beaux?
They are. They are battling. They are not the only ship that is being battled over at the moment. But
So
I will let you decide
for
who
most
you
of
think
season
that's going to
one,
be.
I was into Nancy and Jonathan Byers.
Hmm.
Although Steve is growing on me more now that we reached the final episode and he had some growth. I do still kind of feel like Nancy and Jonathan just work better, at least where they are in their lives now.
Hmm.
And I think they have more in common. Um, I think at least from season 1, Elle and Mike is kind of obvious.
Yep.
But those are just my 3 for so
They're
far.
also little. I would like to point out season 3 makes me uncomfortable to watch.
Oh no.
So just keep that in mind as you
That's
go
great.
into it. But yeah, definitely Hopper and Joyce. Nancy and Steve, Jonathan, love triangle going on. Ellen, Mike, even though they're children. But
Yeah.
I think those are probably what most people would like latch onto as
Yeah,
the
at least
shipping.
for the first season. Like we'll see how things progress.
I am waiting for you to watch season 4 so that I can talk about my ship.
Oh man, your ship doesn't come out till season 4.
Uh, I mean, I personally think it does, but I don't think it's really as popularized until season
Okay.
4.
All right. I'm excited. We'll put a pin on that
I
and come back
imagine
to
you
it.
could probably guess it, but just based on me as a person and what I tend to ship and things. But
Is
yeah,
it
we'll
Steve and
come back.
Jonathan?
You know what's so funny is there's like a whole group of people that do that. I think it's because back in the day, like, and I never even watched it, but I did see these clips of them like kissing in an elevator. Did you ever see that?
No.
There's like a skit of them kissing in an elevator, and I think that springboarded. You know what? If they want to be a throuple,
Go for it.
I'm that's fine. You can be a throuple. I mean, it's not going to happen, but
Yeah.
you could be one. I would be pushing for that. I would allow you to allow it, like I get to control it.
Right? Because we're in charge.
I will
Okay.
allow it.
So things that I hope to see from season 2 and onwards, as well as some predictions. So first off, I
Hold
am
on.
looking for what?
I'm gonna cover most of my face though,
Oh, okay.
because I don't know how to control my expressions very well, so I'm gonna block them.
That's great. Amazing. Okay, so first I'm going to say I'm really excited to see Eleven's power continue to grow and see what else that little weirdo can do. And so at the end of season 1, like we're led to believe she's gone. There's
Which,
several seasons after, so like obviously she's not. I figured she's
right?
either in the upside down or she's in the woods hiding out. One or the other, like she's just hiding out somewhere. Um, I do feel like we didn't really get enough like finality to the upside down portal that was in the laboratory, the one that was kind of spreading. So I'm assuming that her just killing that one Demigorgon was not enough to seal that. Like, so I'm assuming it's going to continue growing, and in season 2 we'll see it spreading, or maybe like more portals opening up as the like walls between the world are disintegrating or weakening or something. So I'm thinking there's going to be something like that. I also want like everybody to quit being on their own little groups and just all come together so that they can, find their common ground and fight the upside down together. And I think that's something that we'll see happen over the course of the next seasons because it would just be silly for them to continue doing their own things in their own little cliques. Okay, two more. Two more predictions. I hope to see Nancy become more of like a badass monster hunter because she started off season 1 at this like mousy, quiet little girl. And as soon as she was ready to start fighting the Demigorgon, she like went from Willow to Buffy.
Yeah,
She's
walk
like,
them down, Wheeler.
yeah, I'm gonna, shoot this gun better than this boy over here and
Like,
practicing with
I
her
don't never
baseball
mind. I was gonna
bat.
say something too, but you know what though? I also would have a baseball bat.
Yeah, she's not wrong for that.
It would be satisfying to hit a monster with a baseball bat, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I think so. So I'd like to see her be more of a monster hunter. And then my final prediction, obviously there's going to be something wrong with Will Byers after spending so much time in the
What
Upside
isn't
Down.
wrong with Will
Yeah,
Byers?
I think either he's going to like transform into a demigorgon himself, or he's gonna like be some kind of like flashing between worlds kind of thing that we saw a little bit of the season 1 finale, and he's gonna like get stuck somehow again, or become like this traveling portal of his own or something. It's gonna be yes, he's gonna be able to like pull people in and out, or he's gonna become like a creature. Like there's obviously gonna be more with Will Byers, and I don't think it's gonna end up well for him.
And that question continues on forever.
We never really know.
What is going on with Will Byers?
Yeah, that's really what
Yeah,
they
we
could just
never
call the
really
show.
know what is
Tagline for
going
the
on with Will
show.
Byers. the whole season where you see him literally twice and he's like the main character of the show.
Right? Like it
Like,
all
I see
revolves
this
around
kid
him.
twice,
And he's got like
literally revolves
10
around him.
minutes of
I
screen
would
time.
I would also like to point out for anybody wondering that the season, like the day that everything starts in Stranger Things, is my birthday,
Just,
November 6th.
you weren't born yet, but
I wasn't born yet. When was it? It was 83,
83.
11 years before my birth,
Oh,
but
11?
11 years before my birth,
There
November
you go.
6th. So, in case anybody was wondering, they call it Stranger Things Day.
That wraps us up on season one. I feel like because it's an introductory season, there's not as much to theorize because you're still getting to know the characters and the world. So it's more of just kind of getting to know everything. So I don't have
I
a lot
would
of theories
say,
for season
yeah,
one,
I
but
would say that season two is probably the most similar to season one.
hmm
And then three, four start branching off a little bit more as far as like the vibe of them. Um, I'm excited for you to watch season two. I feel like a lot more happens in season two than in season one. I do think it's like iconic. Like season one is very iconic because that's when everything starts and all like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Um, it is really weird. Like I know I didn't grow up with these kids, but it's so weird as you watch the show, like watching the boys, their voices getting deeper and deeper. And you're like, and then all of a sudden the kid who plays Finn is like 6 foot tall, and you're just like, good God. Is this how people feel when they grow up watching a show? Like,
maybe.
I was already an adult, so I think that's also part of the reason I didn't get that into it when it first came out is because like I thought it was primarily kind of like a kids show, like a YA kind of show. And I just think at that point in my life, I was like, I don't want to watch that. And it's only watching it now that you're like, this is for adults. This is not for children.
I love how like there's so many like toys and stickers and stuffed animals and stuff of the Demigorgon that look like so cute.
Yeah, and it's
And
evil.
that
It's
monster is
disgusting.
terrifying. It is
And
so
it gets
gross
worse. It
and
gets
so
worse looking.
disgusting. And I'm like, I even have one of the Demigorgon stuffies for one of my kids. And it's
Yeah,
like
I got,
this cute little flower face. Like it's adorable.
oh my God, it's a flower that will literally eat your face off. Yep,
Yeah.
sure will. Yeah, I'm excited for you to continue on so I can slowly break out my theories because, to be honest, nobody else wants to hear it. And I have a lot. I have a lot that tie back to all the seasons. Because,
That's
like I
great.
said, I'm in the trenches. I'm in the trenches. I am a certified fangirl. So as soon as I got into this, it was over for everybody. And it will be the only thing I talk about for the next like month and a half until it comes out. I should bring it up at Thanksgiving.
We'll,
At
we'll
our
just
family
keep
party. I'm like, okay, so who wants to talk about it?
we'll just keep
Because I do.
derailing the conversation. Anytime anyone
The
starts
fact
talking about something, we'll bring it back to Stranger Things.
that is me though, because it's like a hyper fixation of mine. So Kaylee's already tired of me. Like I can tell. She's already like because she thinks one of my biggest theories is not gonna happen. And I'm like, I am 98% sure it's happening. Like I'm so confident, in fact, that I would put money on it happening.
We should put money on it.
I plan to be honest. And
Like,
you know
let's
what? And you
make
know
it
what? When
interesting.
it happens, I want a formal apology from her
She'll write
for
you a
doubting
letter.
me.
I'll make
She
sure she
should doubt
writes
me.
you a
She
letter.
or she should. She should because you know what? She doubts me so much.
It's gonna be really funny because she's been watching the show for years. And
I
then
said that to her.
you,
I was like, "Isn't it funny that I'm more interested in your hobby than you are, or interested in your interests than you are? I
and
love coming
then
in and stealing people's
when your
interests."
theory ends up being correct, you who's watched the show for several weeks compared to
I
her
think it's
several
also,
years.
but like, I think it's also because like when you like writing, you pick up a lot on like a lot of undertones of things like metaphors and just little Easter eggs. I've been wrong before. Okay, I've been wrong plenty of times.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think I'm wrong this time. However, like I think you pick up on things when you write because I told her I'm like you better never read anything I write you're not going to know anything that's going on in it. Like, you're going to miss everything, because I love those little subtle, understated little things. Like, there's so many. Once you go through the series, I feel like you should go back and rewatch it, because you'll pick up all the things that you're like, I missed that watching it the first time. And I love universes that are like that. It's so in depth, it's so detailed. And I think that's what I didn't give it the chance in the beginning, and I should have, because I love an interconnected universe. Like, I love when you can watch something multiple times and every time you notice something new.
I love that
And
too.
I think that's why I like Baldur's Gate so much, because every time you do it, it's different. Every time you do a campaign, a playthrough, you notice something else that you didn't notice before.
I love it. All right, so we will go ahead and wrap up from here. Season 1, our thoughts, our theories. Let us know what your season 1 theories were and what you thought of season 1. Got any season 2 predictions if you're new to watching the show with us? Otherwise, I'm going to go start watching season 2, and we'll be back probably in a few days, recording wise.
My theories, which will be coming out in season 4, well, not in season 4, but after season 4, you should look forward to them, and they are 100% right. And you do not get the
100%.
opinion to say they're wrong. 100%. They're all valid, all correct.
We'll make bingo sheets.
I do have bingo sheets. That's what we're doing. We're doing Stranger Things bingo for the
Love it.
party. We're gonna put our theories, we're gonna put our ships, we're gonna put our like end games.
Who dies?
Who dies, who's not dying, that kind of stuff. I'm ready for it. We're also gonna do a death pool at the party.
Love it.
And Kaylee's idea is to put all the characters in a hat and have everybody pull names out of the hat, and whoever has the most characters that die at the end of the series loses. So
I love that idea. We'll record that.
yeah, but I like the bingo. The bingo thing's gonna be fun. So
All right. Well, I'm
and maybe
super
you'll get
excited.
some content from that.
Yeah, I will, whether you guys want it or not. Ha 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 ha. So I'm super excited. I hope that all of you listeners are excited and ready to join us on our Stranger Things hoopla? I don't know. Journey.
Our journey.
So yeah, stay tuned. The rest of this series will be posted on the Patreon once again, and we hope to see you there.
So long.
Farewell. Thank you everyone for listening. This has been Must Love Books. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon under @MustLoveBooksPodcast. Thank you and happy reading.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.